Hello everyone, welcome back to Roll. Today we are going to have our first shot in a long time at a 16 die lotto run. So we had great success with a 5 die lotto run recently. 6 die lotto runs let you work in more Yahtzee bonuses because you've got more dice to work with. You can guarantee 5 times something occurring for a Yahtzee bonus. And 16 dice gives you the square dice bonus rating, but of course you lose out on the fewer than 6 die bonuses. So the very first thing I'm going to do is work up to 2 97s, and then we will start developing our strategy from there. Stop doing this. I need to change these hotkeys, man. Right, we have a pair of 97s. We've also made a 7 over here. We might want that later. And now it is time to upgrade the shop. 1957 rolls remaining for that. And we get dice number 2. Now, part of the strategy here, as I understand it, is going to be to build up dice that we like and then lock and clone them to get the volume of stuff that we're going to need for the late game, because we're going to need about 15 or even 25. No, it'll be 21 because we want 1 7s with all the 7s and then 4 dice full of them, 1 10 with all the 10s, previous roll times 10, and then 4 dice full of those. So that's 21 of each of those. We're going to want some shopping faces. We're going to want a die with the 20% times a quarter, and then voids and shopping rerollers. So it's going to be a big list. I don't know how much of it we're going to want from this particular shop either. If we can get 6 times single rerolls, but I think that's the next shop up, so I'm just going to skip shop 2 entirely. That gets us here. Now we can buy some of this stuff. I'll take a 3, stick it on another 4 for a 7. Then the rest we can leave, I think. Take our reroll. Now of course it's way far too early right now for a lock. The rest of this stuff does not interest me. We are also going to need more dice, but I imagine most of those we're going to want by cloning. And we're only going to want to start cloning them when they have the things that we want copied on, because we could put a 500 lock on something now, but I'd rather just buy a 13 die or something similar. 6 times rerolls. We'll take that right now. That's going to go on the die with the 97s just to increase our scoring in this still kind of early game stage. Then we're looking for a multiplier for the 97s. Times 2 is not really ideal. I'd like something a little larger. It's times 2 again. Times 2 again. I'm sure we can get 3s and 4s on this shop. There you go. I'll take one of those. Stick it on here. Then I think we need to go to the next tier up, which is going to start getting us voids and shop rerollers and the rest of that good stuff. So say goodbye to tier 3 of shop. Say hello to tier 4. And now we get a selection of passives. 18 factor multiplier is going to be good in the very early game. Add previous rolls to rolls is always going to be incredible. But holding off on getting these things now should mean that stuff stays more affordable for longer. That's kind of the really tricky part to judge at this stage. But there's an immediate void. Very happy to see that. Now, the other thing I have to consider that I'm not so sure about is... No, voids we don't need lots of. We only need 3 voids. We don't need to get voids on a dice that's going to be copied, so we can put voids down here. That's going to be fine. Then we could get another 4x, though I don't think we need it. BOGO, I think, is probably going to be worth getting. Because we're going to be doing a lot of shopping, and in the late stages, free face multipliers are going to be very nice. Like, if one of these had just become free, that would have been wonderful, but alas not. I could set all of one dice to be 7 or something, but until we get the passive that helps with, that seems like slightly excessive. Then we've got 6 times triple rerolls and times 5, and all these things that are going to increase our earning potential right now, but I don't think are the things that we want immediately. Now, shop refresh adders we are going to want plenty of. Although approaching 1500 rolls, I already feel like this has gotten incredibly expensive. Then we can clone that later if we want to. Clovers we don't really need. Double highest dice and prime bonuses, again, would do us good earning right now, but then are going to fall off very quickly, I think. So I'm going to keep resisting the temptation to just buy all the good passives as we shop for everything else. At least for a while. Die with all 77s on it is interesting, because I think at the end we want a couple of dice to have all 77s or all 7s for the lottery bonuses. Now this might be excessive early, but we are going to need more dice eventually as well. Lottery rerolls is not pertinent to us right now. So now I feel like we're in this stage where we can't really do much apart from hunt down the voids, the shop refreshes, and the 50% chance at 100 lottery faces that we need. But I feel like it's going to be a while till we get there. Well, there's another void. There's lucky rerolls. We will probably want that later as well. But right now we don't even have any lottery faces, so that would be excessive. That's all the voids we need, which is nice. I would like a one shot at... That's not the word I wanted. A 50% chance at 100 die to show up soon. We do have a lock here, but I don't think we have anything that warrants cloning right now, unless we did... We could do the die with 77s. That actually seems fine, because that's going to have the least impact now and be useful later. Clovers we don't want. More chances at locking we don't need. Triples, bonuses and stuff, again, will be useful down the line, but not the things that we want right now. want to move anything off of where it currently is. We could move the 7, although we're going to have 2 dice full of 77s, so that seems like something we don't need to do. So now it's just an RNG game, isn't it? Another void that we don't need. Alright. We're still looking for shop refresh adders. Glad that showed up. Right, what I might do here is buy that, put it here. Get the triple rerollers going on that die face just so we can generate rerolls faster. And then if we don't get an opportunity to do so sooner, we will think about cloning that dice when appropriate. But we're nearly through half of our rolls already, and we have basically no big part of the strategy that we want set up. We have our voids, which is lovely, but that's all we have right now. There's another shop refresh adder. Right, it might be time to upgrade and start looking for all of the 7s to join on that die for cloning. Well, if you wouldn't look at that. Alright, simple stuff. There's a key as well. Is that going to be really useful for us in this early stage? It might be. That lock below is just cracked. So we've got another dice of all 77s. 7, 7, all the 7s. And with a free 10x here, I'm going to pop that on this 97 just to get some more earning going, because we're slightly falling off now. Now, key. 640,000 seems like an awful lot. Especially considering that top one isn't even locked yet. We do want wilds. We want a whole face of wilds at some point. So we will stick that up there for cloning as well. And then just try and lock that at our next convenience. We already have 12 free rerolls. There's a 500. Although without a universal reroller, I think that is going to be 500 rolls rather than 300 rolls, which is a bit rough. We do want a 20% chance at 1/4 of the entire roll as well, and all these Yahtzee bonuses, but that's late game stuff, not for right now really. There's also add a die copy. Now if we could just copy that top die without having to worry about cloning it, that would be amazing, but how hard is it to get millions? Was it 2 million? 3.5 million. We'll roll out through like most of our rolls to get there, won't we? Maybe if the lottery pays out on some really good occasions, but we can't really count on that, can we? And really, we should think about having something locked during all this stage, but what would we lock? I guess we could have locked the top and then waited for it to pop and then used the key to get it and then made another one of it, but I just feel like I've made a mess of this incredibly quickly. So if we lock this now, which is probably regrettable, are we going to unlock it before we can afford to double it? We actually are. But there's no way we set up the rest of this combo now. With 300 rolls left, it's never going to happen. So clearly I'm approaching the mid-game very incompetently. Also, I never clicked on add die copy again after we bought the lock, because I'm bad. So there's 3 of those. Let's get one of these somewhere in the meantime. Then we have tons of rerolls, but as soon as we spend any of it, everything's going to be really expensive again, isn't it? We'll take that because it costs 1. We'll take that to reduce some of our value here. Now everything's really expensive, and we've ruined everything for ourselves, pretty much, right? There's another lock, but we don't have enough things to do it, and even with 84 rolls left, even if we got perfect RNG here in the shop, we're never going to get what we need with what we have left. It just can't happen. So clearly I'm doing something terribly. No 99's universal double reroll would be great, but we're never going to afford it. So whatever's happening here, I'm doing something very wrong in the mid-game. So more research is required. So rather than just trying to do that again and getting the same result because I haven't learnt what I need to be doing differently specifically in that mid-game, I'm going to go away, do some research, and then tomorrow we will see about whether or not I can improve my knowledge about where we need to go in the middle of the run. And then Friday will be Fan Build Fridays. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. Sorry it's a shorter one, but I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.